This podcast is sponsored by MacBook Pro.
Apple.
That's a joke, but yeah. Anyhow, you can win this if you, or you can be entered to win this if you go to order Ben Beiler's new song.
Yep. And also, the WTHN Apparel Company pre-order. It's on now, guys.
All righty.
Sponsor, boys.
You
need that hitter. You need to stay warm with that hoodie.
I'm going to say something, too. I wrote a song that's also on that pre-order, and I gave it to Ben to go do his thing with. It's called 6-String Guitar, so thanks for that opportunity.
Hey!
But yeah, order them all. Anyhow. We got Ben Beiler in here, as he's usually the host, but I'm going to kind of do the interview on him now. So we're going to get into the mind of Ben Beiler. Drinking out of a Pyrex today.
What do you call it, a Pyrex?
It's a Pyrex measuring cup.
Oh.
All right. So, I guess we're going to start. Actually, I want to hear about your Nashville trip. That's what I want to hear about.
Dang, dude. So I interviewed John Connolly was one of them. He plays guitar with Kenny Chesney.
Okay.
And we got deep, dude. I love talking to him. He was awesome to talk to. And one thing for him specifically we got into a lot was I was asking him, what he did in his life to get where he's at. You know? And he said he just planted seeds. He would just, he'd try to be fair to everybody and just plant these seeds, like put in the work and just try to plant for the future so that hopefully, like he likened it to a farm where you plant seeds. Sometimes it grows, sometimes it don't. You don't know to what extent it'll grow. And I never thought about that in that way because, I grew up on a farm, and so it was interesting to hear from that perspective. So John was awesome. John Connolly, John Willis was actually, funny story. I never knew this, but he worked with Chase Rice on Cruise. He was the demo guy that did Cruise before they recorded it, and he came up with the guitar lick that's on there on the country version, and they used pretty much what he had come up with. So Chase Rice and the boys worked with him, hired this John Willis guy to record, and so he did all that. Okay,
so you're saying he worked with Chase Rice on Cruise. I guess that he also would have worked with Florida Georgia Line then too.
Well, yeah, this was for the demo before they recorded the actual song.
I see. I'm trying to get the behind the story of that song because I didn't know. Was that original with Florida Georgia Line or?
Yeah, so Florida Georgia Line, the two boys wrote it with Chase Rice and Jesse Rice. So those four wrote it in a room somewhere. They're just out of college or right in college or something. They wrote it, and so typically in Nashville, if you have a song you like, you'll demo it. So you demo it, and kind of like we did with 6-String Guitar, but even more, even a little better than that. Then they'll pitch it to artists or you record it themselves. But so John Willis is a studio musician, but he also then on the side produces for people. He says for people that can't afford the big studios, he's cheaper, so he does demos for cheaper than some of the studios, and he's great. He plays all the instruments or does the drum loops. So they came to him for this demo, and Cruise was one of them, and he pretty much got the intro lick, what it is now, he said, and the drums and everything similar. So that was crazy to I'd never known that. So
that's quite interesting.
Yeah,
I always wondered about those dudes because talking to them, they're pretty approachable, pretty open about stuff. Yeah,
Well, so you mean John Willis, John Connolly, those guys? Yeah, I mean, it was. I've worked with them now 3 times.
Okay.
And so they're nice, they're great guys. It's just they didn't know who I was. But then the third time I recorded, I asked the guys if they'd be down for a podcast because I felt like, we worked together a little bit.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be too big of an ask. And
right.
they were down, and I made sure with Kenny that he's cool, and Kenny sent me their numbers. I text them, and dude, yeah, they were very, I'm excited to edit that and stuff and put it out because it was very, very insane. And then also Kenny Royster, if you want, I can go into that.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I want to hear about it.
Yeah. So Kenny recorded Hurricane.
Okay.
Luke Combs. That was Luke Combs' third trip to Direct Image. And so they recorded Hurricane, and Kenny took us back behind the scenes. He has it on his folder on his computer. He opened the folder and all the Luke Combs stuff. It's 3 songs and 3 songs and 6 songs. And Hurricane, She Got the Best of Me was recorded there. Outlaw.
Okay, that's crazy.
The 6 songs, I believe 6 songs on his first album were all recorded there. So some of them weren't singles or whatever, but
right. They're all hit songs though.
Yeah, dude, they're all great. And so Kenny, when they did Hurricane, they had a producer come in. I guess the record labels were looking at Luke Combs, and then they had sent out a producer to be part of it. So, yeah, it was a little interesting because Kenny did the work, and this producer wanted to, he wanted to be the producer as well, which Kenny did most of the work. This guy, he had some drum fill, different things he did, but it was interesting to hear. Definitely excited to put that out, the podcast. So
yeah, that's awesome. I'm just excited for those type of people that don't get that type of exposure to get exposure. Like I don't know if they do podcasts or not. I'm sure they do, or something. But I'm just excited to that we're the ones that can give them some type of hey,
they
tell a little story.
Right, exactly. They do little. So the guitar player John Conley and John Willis, and there was other people too, but they do occasionally, not a ton, but I just think it's cool to shine a spotlight on them a little. Kenny had done 1 or 2, but he loved it to be able to talk about his studio, and hopefully, if people want to listen to this, that it would shine some light on the behind the scenes of the music industry. So it's pretty interesting.
Important.
Yeah, is it?
So anyway, as y'all know probably by now, Ben grew up Amish as shit.
Amish.
And no disrespect to the Amish, but I want to get into that a little bit. Like, when did you leave the Amish? Just for, I kind of forget. You had told me, but.
So 17.
17, okay.
When I left.
So 17 to now, it's been a while. So let's go behind 17. Let's go back to, as far back as you can remember.
Well, my first memory was probably 5 years old, and I was working. We had just put a pit in, a manure pit in our farm.
Yeah. So was it poured walls, or did you just dig it? Okay.
I think before that, pretty sure we had to clean out the gutters every day, which is gross. Yeah. And you probably know what that's like. Yes,
I do.
So then I think we did a pit when I was 5. So we built the pit.
Okay.
And it was poured walls, square.
Yeah.
It wasn't round. We did it different for some reason. We had one gutter filled one pit and the other pit for some reason.
Yeah.
But these Amish guys did it. And I remember for some reason going in the pit with my granddad, fixing some stuff or whatever. So that's the first thing I remember ever. But I thought it was cool because the pit was always scary. Yeah. But before it was scary, I went in it and did some work on it. So
before they put
that was my
shit
first memory. Yeah, right. So
that's what's up.
So
when you had cows, how many cows did you have?
I think it was 40.
Okay,
40 cows.
40 cows, and you milked by hand, or do you have a pipeline at all?
Nah, dude. We had we had a diesel engine that powered the vacuum pump.
Okay.
And then the vacuum pump, we had lines in the barn where you could hook up milkers, but we'd have to have milkers with buckets.
Okay.
So you don't have a pipeline because that's too modern.
Yeah.
And milking by hand, I guess we were a little beyond that because it was 2010 or something. But so we had buckets, and we had 4 buckets. And so we would have 4 milkers going at once, fill the buckets, and then pour it in a Sputnik, a little wheeled Sputnik. You've seen those, right? Yeah. Yep. So then we fill that, and once that's full, you roll it to the tank, hook it up to compressed air and put it in the tank, in the milk tank.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I've seen them work. I've never actually had to use them because we had pipeline. We were men in it. Yeah,
you guys are modern, bro.
Yeah, we'll talk. See, we had 100 cows, so it was like But that's interesting. I didn't actually know how some of them Amish do because I know some of them do have a pipeline.
Yeah,
some of them get glass pipeline or stainless steel, but then some of them use the Sputnik.
We work from York County, dog. We are
that backwoods Amish,
reserved, bro.
Yes, sir. So like, how was it? Like, talk about how you like. Did you have any type of relationship with your parents? Like, was it? Talk about that a little bit. I don't know how like. I hear stories about the Amish and I hear like, how they treat their children, but I don't know if, it's individual families or it's kind of,
Yeah, so I was the oldest, and so I was kind of the guinea pig. My dad was 21 when he had, I think it was 21 when he had, or 21 when he had me or something. Okay. My mom was 20.
Right.
So they're like youngsters, dude.
Yeah.
And yeah, definitely like my dad had, when he was raised, I think his dad used to yell at him and never spanked him. He just like freaking let loose and yelled at him.
Right.
So he was trying to be different. But he would like, for me, because I'm the oldest, and for some reason, we always kind of clashed because I was the rebellious guy and he was the rule follower.
Right.
And
he wanted to do it right.
we always kind of clashed because of that.
Yeah.
But I always, you know how it is, you want to please your parents.
Right.
Until I got older. But, dude, it seemed like, for me, what I remember, it seemed like I could never do stuff right or please my dad specifically. My mom used to get along, and my mom and I. But it seemed like it was always hard to please him, and whatever I did, it's not good enough.
Yeah.
And so... But, there's a couple of moments that I remember, but a lot of tough times,
Yeah, I feel you there. Been through it. I was just interested because, like, what a lot of people do understand and some don't is you are very affected by what happens in those early years, and that kind of shapes you, and it kind of, I shouldn't say shapes you, but it definitely affects you mentally, so that's...
Oh, yeah.
But,
yes, sir.
So, like, being Amish, did you ever think of the outside world? Did you know anything, outside that 8 mile radius, 8 mile, you know what I mean? We talked about that before.
Yeah. That's funny. We need to write a song called 8 Mile because, or 8.5, so it's not like Eminem's, but.
Right, 8.5.
8.5 mile.
8.5.
But. So, sorry, what was the question?
I just, like, did you know anything outside of that circle?
Like
8 mile, anything?
Yeah.
Did you have any dreams about the outside world, or was that cut off?
Well, for some reason, I always daydream, and I think it was because I read books. Like, I read a ton of books, dude.
Okay.
And so I was, like, read Hardy Boys, like the Black Beauty series or something?
Read them.
And I don't remember all of them, but there's a lot of books I read, and that, like, led me to imagine things, especially the Hardy Boys. Like, they went on these adventures, and I vividly imagine everything. It's like I was watching it on TV while I'm reading the book.
Right.
So that really, and some reason my grandparents encouraged me reading a lot. My mom's mom always brought books over. My dad's dad was always reading, and he always had good books and shit. So always encouraged to read, and I just think that really got my imagination turning. So based on that, even though I was taught it's wrong, I would dream of having a computer, of driving tractors in the field to work.
Right. Yeah.
I would just dream. Some reason I thought I'm going to be a professor or an inventor or some kind of creator of something.
Right.
And dude, you don't do that. Like, at least, I want to be a construction boss because screw this farming.
Exactly.
In my
mind. No one wants to do farming.
Now I'm construction boss, and it's fun.
Dream
I
came
enjoy
true.
it. I enjoy it, but I would prefer to make my living doing music.
Oh, absolutely.
And whatever. So
yeah, yeah, that's interesting because like for me, it was a little different because I knew more about the outside world. We had tractors, we had, we were driving around, we would go through towns, so we would see that, and that really piqued my interest because, and I think I talked about this in my episode, but just to bring it up again, like mine versus yours is like you didn't see too much of that, but you got it from books. I got it from driving around and, you know, seeing all this stuff, and I'm like, what is this?
Did you have cars or?
Yeah, we had.
So
we
that
had cars.
definitely makes a difference.
Yeah,
because for example, the buggies, dude, it took for 6 miles took an hour.
right.
So like the 8 miles, you know, that's an hour and 15 minutes or 2 hours maybe. I mean, it was farther than 8 miles than when I was 16, but it's still very limited. I was always imagine going to Best Buy and buying things to make stuff.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It wasn't going to happen pretty much.
See, I didn't really have that because we went to Walmart, we went to stuff like that, but it was very like we were dressed so plain out there, like it was like I didn't even want to go. Like, you know?
Yeah, right. I know. Yeah.
So
got that hat, dog.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So like as far as church, how is it with church in the Amish? Like, you know, talk about.
Oh my goodness. All right. Dude, that was an experience, man. It was an experience. So men and women
know.
segregated. Men here, women here. And then the preachers everybody had hard benches, no backs, nothing. You just deal with it, dude.
Right.
And so I think the kids sat with their parents until, do you know, 14? I don't even remember for sure.
I
dude.
just hear stories. I don't know.
I'm thinking it's 14 or 15.
Okay.
I'm thinking.
That seems about right because that's when we would start sitting with the youth.
Yep. So, but still, boys on this side, girls on this side. So then the preachers would sit in chairs because I don't know why. I guess they're special.
Oh, yeah.
And then
they got to be comfortable to deliver that word, son.
Exactly.
In high German that no one can understand.
Exactly, dude. They don't even probably understand what they're preaching. I don't know.
Probably not.
But so the preachers are in the chairs. The preachers' wives are in chairs. So they're like, imagine a row right here. Boom. So it's like maybe 3 foot apart. They're facing each other.
Okay.
And then the guys and girls face each other. Just so they start to chain, and then there's benches and just in the houses, you know, churches in the houses, and you just spread it out.
So they're facing each other.
Everybody's facing each other.
You ever been to a Horning Mennonite church? You should go sometime because it's kind of like that.
They face each other as well?
They face each other. They're segregated, but then they have seats that go this way, and they'll be facing each other.
Is that a church house?
That's a church house.
What?
Regular Mennonites, they sit like this.
Yeah,
they're not facing each other.
Looking at the preacher.
Looking at the Lord, son.
Looking at the Lord. Yeah.
But yeah,
that's interesting, dude. So Horning actually, the preacher stands here, but
like the preacher is kind of like in between them, in the middle, but he's at the front. Wow. You know, just like a regular church. But then they sit out the sides.
That's insane, dude. Yeah.
So
I remember I used to have crushes on these girls, dude. I'd be peeping at them, see if they're looking at me, and dude,
looking at them ankles,
looking back to see if she was looking back at me.
Yeah, bro.
No, I used to sit there like this. Because you're like in the bench, and I'd be peeping through see if they're looking at me. Oh yeah, dude, they're looking, bro.
Yo, okay, so like when you did prayer, did you kneel for prayer, or did you stand,
buddy,
or did you ever pray? I can't remember because I've only been there twice.
Let me go back in time here, dude. Let me go back. All right, so
we deep, son.
I think we had 2 preachers, and it was about 3 hours long.
Okay,
from 9 to 12 or 8 to 11, I'm not sure.
Okay.
But so the first thing we do is go in, we sing, and I'm going to have to kind of remember now. So the first thing is we go in and sing super slow, like I'll do a little, you go with me? Let's do this one.
We have to do it slow.
Oh,
I don't know that one.
That was not the first song, but that was one word. So that's how
word.
slow we sing, but it was cool, man. Like the whole church singing together sounds pretty cool,
dude. It's like a German choir.
Yeah, it's like a chant, like a slow chant choir thing or whatever.
It's definitely something to hear.
Yeah, it is.
We should go and record it.
Yeah, there might be some on YouTube, but maybe we should actually put a good version out on.
Put it in a song.
Dude, I always wanted to make Lop Song a song with beats or something.
That'd be awesome.
that might be not cool, but hey.
I think it would be cool. I think it would be real cool.
So as far as the church service goes, we had then, let's see, we sang, then the preacher preached, and then I think we kneeled for prayer. The whole church kneeled.
Okay.
And then we stood up while he read a word, the deacon, I think.
Right.
And we sat back down, maybe sang another song.
Okay.
And then, dude, I'm good. That's a good. I think it's close, but I'm gonna have to do some remembering.
Yeah.
Then the second preacher would come up and preach, and I think we kneeled down, then stood, and then sang, and then we're done. I think.
Okay,
sure.
that's very similar to a Mennonite service.
Yeah.
Because we would also kneel for prayer, and then in the end we would stand for prayer.
Yeah, I think he was reading. We're standing for scripture reading.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you ever like when you kneel for prayer, you peep over the benches and look at the girls or something like that?
So when we're kneeling,
I got smacked for doing that so many times.
dude, you did that?
Oh,
like
hell
how?
yeah.
Because you're facing away.
Well, see, what you do is you peek your head up and just look over a little bit. Because
never
they're
did.
on the other side, so they look over
like,
at you.
if we're kneeling this way and the girls, my butt's facing the girls' butt.
Okay, yeah, you're going.
So I couldn't really peep that well.
You just got that donk in your face.
Yeah. But
That's
I used
funny.
to peep when I'm sitting down, dude.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, they're always looking over like, oh, yeah, dude,
That's
these
funny.
cute guys, man.
It's funny because they tried to keep us so segregated, but there was such a, I mean, even when they were keeping us segregated, we still wanted to be together, naturally. It's just natural.
That instinct, dude.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
That's very interesting. I was always like how Amish, they do lunch after the service, right?
Yeah.
Because that always intrigued me. They all get together in a house and they
Buddy.
have church and they have a meal together. That's actually communal as fuck if you think about it.
That's pretty
it's
cool.
cool.
Yeah.
It's cool. It's just the religious shit is weird. But
Yeah.
the communal part of it is awesome.
It is actually, dude.
Talk
yeah.
about that meal though.
Right. Dude, I forgot, man. This is good. All right.
Yes, sir.
All right.
I told you we were going deep.
That was good because we had peanut butter and schmiakis, dude.
Mm-hmm.
So schmiakis, smear cheese,
Yes,
dog.
sir.
It's
Spreadable
some
cheese,
runny,
Amish cheese.
runny cheese.
That is some good stuff with pretzels and apples and whatever you like, man.
And bread and schnitz boy, dude.
Yes, sir.
What's that? What would that be in English? Schnitz boy. That'd be
Schnitz would be like an apple schnitzel or something like that. Like apple pie kind of like that.
Apple or something, yeah.
Yeah.
But dude, so here's the deal. After church, the people, whoever it is, put the benches together, and we had like a thing about this wide that you could set 3 benches in, and it made a table.
Okay.
So we made tables with where the butts were just sitting became a table.
Yeah.
And then we had benches to sit on as well. And so in the house right after service, they would make these tables. And then I think they probably put tablecloth on top. But
Yeah, I remember seeing that. You don't want that Amish ass in your food.
Nah, dude. But dude, that food, man.
Something
So
else.
yeah, I think the men went in first. And the preachers went in first. There was like rows, and the women on this side, the men on this side. There was rows of tables, and people would line up and eat by age, I think, whoever's the oldest. And then, so it would go by age. They would eat, and then when they're done, they would go out. The next group would come in.
Okay.
And that was my favorite part because the food was good. We had bread, peanut butter, and the cheese. And we had schnitz pie. We had sometimes apple pie, sometimes pretzels, sometimes cheese. Dude, talk about, we could be like a big boy. We didn't have plates. We eat that no spoons. We eat that pie with a knife, dude. Imagine eating a pie with a knife, dude.
Yeah, you gotta
That's
get
like
ratchet
big
out here.
boy stuff, boy.
Oh, yeah.
But no, dude, that was my favorite part because then you could like eat and that was pretty cool because everybody, it's insane. If you think about it, you herd them in, dude. The oldest person, then till the tables are full, then the next comes in, and I think there's like 2 or 3 cycles, bro.
Yeah. See, that's cool. The whole community thing. I like that.
I love that part. Yeah,
Because that's kind of how we would do at the family gatherings when we'd have them. Because my family doesn't really get together that much, but when we do, it's like that. Like we'll set up tables, and then like the oldest people go first, and then you bring the younger people, you bring the families, and you bring the kids in. Did
you at your church? Did you guys eat there or not?
Sometimes we called them fellowship meals, but the one church I went to for like 7 years, we never had fellowship meals. It was very, very focused on just getting there and getting out,
hearing the word,
hearing that Jesus speak, and then you get out.
Yeah, was that? Did you guys do that every Sunday?
Yeah, we had daily Sunday service
church.
every
Daily
we
church.
basically did because we had devotions every day. But
wow,
yeah.
So that just reminds me too. We had service every other Sunday, so that because our buggies are that slow. If you want to go visit the neighbor church, so or like say your mom has church at their house or your sister or your brother, so you might want to go visit them. So it just makes it easier to visit each other's churches. So it's every other.
Okay.
So on the Sundays off, we would read scripture or something in the morning as a family around the table, and then we would sing sometimes, play games sometimes, whatever. But that was always cool too.
Right.
Till I started Rumspringer.
Now I have one more question about the meal, because if it's like I heard like y'all didn't cook anything because it was too much work for Sunday or something like that, or do I have that mixed up? I sound like a fucking reporter here.
Right.
Are you Amish? Like, do you guys do this, or are you guys even human beings? Or
are you robots from alien planet?
Yeah, like what the fuck are you wearing? And why do you smell like shit? I'm sorry.
Yeah, we don't
Not
want
you.
deodorant. Bro, heck no. Yeah. That's a good point. I think that they did not cook on the day of. That's because they, like, the women would get together and bake these pies like the week before. So yeah, they're baking that crap. It's all like cold. Yeah, you're right. It's all cold food.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
that's
no heating.
That's very interesting, because that's completely opposite of how we did it. You know what? Like throughout the week, now get this. Throughout the week, we would eat like shit. We would eat potato soup. And I'm not saying shit because it's good food. But we wouldn't eat like the fancy food like steak or like roast beef or, some real good roast turkey or something like that. That was all for Sunday.
Wow.
And when Sunday came around, buddy.
Nice.
I'm telling you, these Mennonite women would get up early to start that cook.
And that was for family?
That was for family.
Yes.
Because after church, instead of fellowship meals, we would go to people's houses. So they would cook this crazy meal. Okay, we'd have like
eat at other people's houses.
Yeah.
Dude.
Well, sometimes we'd go home, and even then we would cook.
But you would
huge
invite
meals.
people over or something.
Yeah, but now they would cook like huge roasts, huge turkeys, like a bunch of steaks in a fucking roast pot with potatoes and carrots and all that stuff. Like, it was good. They went in on Sundays, but the rest of the days, at least for our family where I grew up, we kind of just ate like crap throughout the week as far as, eating, going in on food.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah, we did that too. Like, especially if you're visiting a church, or actually, was that supper then? Because we would have had dinner. I think it might have been supper, dude.
Okay.
But I remember having meals with like families and stuff. You just come over and you talk all afternoon or something. And
yeah.
I don't quite remember, because I think it was bad not to eat the meal at church. Like, I think that was expected that you would eat it there.
You were supposed to do that. That was all part of the ritual.
Yeah, so I'm thinking like meals were for, dude, it's been that long. It's a little faded in my mind, but it's coming back as we're talking about it.
I know. That's why I like talking about it, because it brings back all them weird shit.
I know, right? Exactly.
But we'll move on a little bit. Talk about that, how you felt with the religion and all that weight pressing down on you, pretty much. Because when you're Amish and Mennonite, you're pretty much under condemnation. You don't feel right.
Yeah. Dude, it was crazy, because I always felt, first of all, especially when I listened, I always definitely felt very condemned. So let's see. What was the question again?
Well, like talk about how you felt, like if you would do something quote unquote bad, or like talk about the condemnation you felt, like the pressure you're under to just perform, be perfect.
Oh yeah, right, dude. Yeah, definitely. If I did something wrong, I got that beaten, bro.
Yeah,
beat up, dude.
But like you know how like when you are I'm trying to put it in words. When you're like under that religious law, you know what I mean? And you feel like if you do anything, you know, God's going to look at you and say, oh yeah, you're going to hell, you know, because that's what they'll tell you pretty much.
Yeah. Dude, so I got an interesting story. So I used to have wet dreams.
Okay.
And every morning I felt guilty. I felt like I'm going to, there's nothing I could do about it.
Yeah.
But it felt like I'm going to hell because wake up and, you know.
Yeah.
But stuff like that, like just even like getting work done fast enough. Like if you don't get work done fast enough, God might not like you. I was always scared of the world ending and me not being ready to die because I'd go to hell.
Yep.
Like walking in winter evenings, there's northern lights flashing in the sky. I'm like, crap, that's a sign God's coming back. Dude, I'm scared, bro.
So much condemnation.
Yeah.
They preach hell so much.
Oh my! Every time
Fire
we're at
and
church,
brimstone,
it's
dude.
hell, dude. You don't want. They're like, stay Amish so you don't go to hell.
Pretty much.
Don't drive a car so you don't go to hell.
Yeah.
Don't listen to music so you don't go to hell.
Right.
They, just in everyday working and trying to obey your parents and everything you do, dude. Even just thoughts. Like I used to have thoughts like, oh crap, I wonder if that thought will get me to hell because I thought this certain thing.
Yeah. And that's like a serious form of mind control to me.
Yeah, dude.
Because like if you and you're young yet, right? You're not,
dude,
and that's crazy.
5 years old, 6 years old, you start getting up at 5 and feeling this shit, dude. You gotta like stay on your toes and
you gotta.
Yeah.
It's like walking on eggshells. Because I had that thing about if
goodness.
you don't get your work done fast enough, like this dude, he used to take it out on me with a fucking pipe. You know what I'm saying? So it's like and I was underneath some. Like, God is watching you, Kyle.
Yeah.
He's watching you be lazy. And I'm just being adventurous, doing other things, you need to stick to your chores, but it's not right to beat a child for that. That's just, that's crazy.
I don't think I had it that crazy, but dude, it was the same fear. Like, I knew if I wouldn't, I'd get, same thing.
Well, it's just the fact that there's the fear of that. That's kind of messed up. It's actually really messed up. That's, I'm going to say interesting because, like the Amish, they have this. At least from what I'm told, I've never been Amish, but they have this whole thing. Like we have a very good work ethic, and it's almost like they're so desperate to keep that up, they'll do anything it takes, And if that means we're gonna, push our children to the limits, we're gonna fucking do it,
Yeah, dude, that reminds me. I remember, and for some reason, I always felt things very deeply,
right?
And maybe that's why I'm into music and stuff, into writing. But when you're in church and the kid doesn't quiet down, he just keeps bawling in church, you know what they do.
Oh, you take him out.
Take the kid out.
I'm
I couldn't take it, dude.
It's too much. I had that happen a couple times.
I'm sure it happened to me, but I don't remember. I blocked that out. I block it out, bro. There's a lot of things in my early childhood that I don't remember. I think that happened that I blocked out. But.
Yeah, I feel you. I feel you.
I don't want to feel that. Dude.
I feel you, dude.
I swear, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Someday you're gonna have to dig deep into that though, because I'm working on that. I'm working on a lot of my shit from back in the day, because what it is like it's trauma, and it causes PTSD that affects every part of your life. You just don't know it. You know what I mean? And that's why talking like this is unlocking some of them doors, and that's why I'm glad we can sit here and get deep.
Yeah. Even don't touch me.
Don't fucking touch me.
Even
we stole that.
Theo Vaughn, dog. If you haven't listened to him, listen to Theo and Brandon, dude. They're funny. Dude, even oh man, what was I gonna say? Yeah, dude, talking like even doing this Why the Hell Not song and doing the video and writing the story, everything. It's just, dude, it goes deep, but to me, it's important, and I think it has to be done, even if for me, for my path, just to freaking help me move on with my life, even if nothing else, even if nobody else would listen.
Well, look at it like, I mean, this is just a challenge, but look at it like you got a key and you're literally putting that key in. This key is universal to every door. You know what I mean? All you got to do is stick that key, turn it, and that takes some pain. You know what I mean?
Right.
But sometimes getting through that pain is what's really taking. You got to force the key in there and turn it. You know what I mean? But that's what you're doing, and that's what that's what the only thing you can do, because we're a long way from being Amish and Mennonite, and you know, facing the reality of that is actually kind of scary. But in the way, it's releasing a lot of shit, so it's
like
a good
looking
thing.
back at some of the stuff you mean. Yeah,
like
it's painful, but I found that for me, dude, it was a long journey. I'm still not there, but I'm actually feel good sometimes now, because I've never ever felt good.
No,
like,
me neither.
Never.
Yeah.
Sometimes now playing music, I feel good, bro.
Dude,
You know what I'm saying?
Hell
if it's clicking, dude.
Yeah.
But dude, you just you grow up your whole life never feeling okay. You just feel like it's always something isn't right. Something isn't right.
Right.
There's still that, but it's not near. It's definitely more this journey that I've been through, and I just think as you're ready for it, the stuff comes up. So I think this song, Why the Hell Not, this was the time for it now.
Absolutely.
And so it just, as you go along, things come up. Whatever it is brings it up, and you're like, now you deal with this, then you deal with the next thing, and you just keep going. But
yeah, it's all about that momentum.
Yeah, I just love it. I'm finally able to even enjoy life a little bit sometimes, because
that's important.
More impossible, dude.
Yeah, I remember. Maybe. Like, and we'll talk about. We're gonna get into like when you left and stuff like that now.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna just preface this a little bit. When you leave, and some of you can probably relate to this because you probably left a shitty situation in your life. When you leave a shitty situation that is your whole life, you literally have to build a life from scratch. You have nothing.
Yes.
So you have to build everything from scratch. And it's like, when I say everything from scratch, I mean, you literally have to build who you are from scratch, because you don't know who that is.
Right.
And then you have to once you figured out, that's a long process. Once you figure out the kind of the frame of who you are, then you're like, okay, what am I going to do in life? What am I going to work? How am I going to, put all these dreams to, in action and all this stuff. So yeah, talk about some of that, how you left and
we're leaving now. Okay.
What you were thinking when you left.
Right. So dude, I remember, so it was in the kitchen. I could sense like my parents. So what happened, I'll do a little pre-story. What happened, my mom was having health problems. And so my parents were searching for a cure or for something, because my parents, it was the same thing, dude. They probably would. And I wanted to touch on this a little bit, and I'll do that now.
Yeah, go ahead.
So what happens is, in the Amish, you stuff everything under the rug. You put on a false front. You're very fake to pretend, because the Amish believe they want to be the light of the world, so they're going to do anything to keep their image as them doing the light of the world, them following the rules. So
emphasis on image. It's all a sham. It's all an image.
Yeah, it's all PR. They're very good at creating a brand,
right,
and keeping that brand real. So they everything's shoved on the rug. So they're humans, so they're not going to be perfect. But from the outside, they try to pretend like they're perfect. So what happens is, this was my experience. This might not be everybody's as far as Amish, but what happens is when you're human and you make mistakes, but yet you want to put on this fake front, everything gets swept under the rugs. I was never allowed to feel things. You don't feel things. You just get over it and move on.
Just
don't
like
feel
a robot.
Anything. Don't emotions. Nope. Don't want emotions. Right.
Too much.
So it's everything's stuffed in and locked inside in like a boiling kettle. Everything's just shoved down. That lid's shoved down.
And it's gonna blow someday.
Right. So my mom was having health problems due to the fact of that.
Right.
Just never dealing with the emotional stuff that she needed to. Mm-hmm. So they're looking for therapists and different people to kind of work through that. And so they, through that path, I knew that it's kind of like sense that we might leave sometime or whatever.
Right.
But it was, through that they found somebody that encouraged them to leave. Like, you guys might want to consider leaving. So eventually we did. Okay. But I remember that I was sitting around the table, the whole family, and Dad brings it up. Hey, we're going to leave the Amish now.
Oh, snap.
And I was like, yes, dude. First question. Guess what? My first question. See if you guess.
Can we listen to music? I don't know.
My first question was, can we get a computer?
Oh, snap.
Because I wanted to watch music videos. I want to listen to music. I want to go on the internet, find pictures of people. I want to the whole thing, dude. The internet was intriguing.
That was the key.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We used to have newspapers. So for when we milk cows, you have you wash the udders of the cows. Right?
Oh yeah.
So we use newspapers for some reason, and we use newspapers. So we always had our neighbors dump off the newspapers. They always had these Best Buy ads with these computers,
right,
or this gear, and I always keep on the trend with these computers. Like, oh, this one's got 1 gig RAM. This one's got a 500 gigabyte hard drive or something. I kept up with that.
Yeah,
and that was in my mind. I wanted to leave the Amish, but it was probably going to be when I'm 21.
Right.
So it was actually when I was 17. And so I was happy to leave before, and I was super excited to have a computer, dude.
Okay. But that's interesting, man. Like, I was always curious, like, how your family left, because some Amish, like, a lot of Amish kids that leave, they'll be, like, running around in Rumspringa, and then they're like, oh, fuck this shit, I'm out, you know. Their family just kind of stays, so your whole family dipped out.
Yeah, they're like, hey, we're going to leave. They got convinced that it's not the way for them, you know, it's too much of a cold or too much of a, I don't know if it's a cult. And again, it was in York County. Yeah, all right. In York County where we grew up, it was very plain and very backwards, even more than some areas.
Yeah.
And dude, they're just thinking this is not the way they want to raise their kids or live, I guess. But dude, I like to get into Rumspringa a little bit if you can.
Talk about anything. I don't know where you're at and where you left and all that stuff.
Because 17 is when I left, and I did 1 year of running around.
Okay.
Dude, now talk about actually having some fun, because so for example, I always liked, hanging out with girls, right?
Right.
But you don't do that much in school, a little bit, but then you just don't hang out with girls a ton. And then Rumspringa is basically what happens is it's a youth group. You just, when you turn 16, you start Rumspringa, and what that is, you meet with all your friends your same age, kind of similar interests, whatever.
Right.
And you meet, you play volleyball, you sing, you have a good time.
And this is at people's houses? And
yeah, people's houses. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So they would host the gang and singing.
Yeah. I've been to a couple of them.
You've been to a gang and singing?
They weren't Amish. They were like the horse and buggy Mennonites.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know what those are like.
Oh, well, we'll get into that.
Right. Anyway, so yeah, when I turned 16, dude, I was so excited because we were able to hang out, have fun with people my age, people with similar interests, similar kind of beliefs about the Amish.
Right.
And there was girls who were hanging out, we're playing volleyball, and we're just having a good time, dude.
Right.
Super cool. Now, first time ever experiencing that.
I have a really interesting question. When you were at Rumspringa, did you talk Dutch or English?
And English.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know why that just popped
in. So there's different levels. There's plain, there's middle, there's wild. And we were in the middle.
Yeah.
We were cool. We talk English to each other.
Yeah.
At home with my parents, always Amish, but in Rumspringa, dude, we're cool and we talk English, boy.
That's what's up, man. So, like, was there any, like, when being the middle Amish, did you do any partying, or was it just singings and... Because there is that party.
Oh, there is a hardcore party. We were not much into that. I never drank alcohol when I was Amish. Never.
Okay. Have you ever been to like an Amish party?
I was to like a band hop one time.
Okay.
Yeah. That was wild, dude.
I'll bet.
I want to go again. We should make one.
Dude,
something.
well,
you guys want one? Let us know. We'll do it, dude.
They're around because they still have them. They have them.
Dude.
They're just not talked about that much because they get broken up a lot. So.
If anybody here direct message us, we will be happy to play for your band.
Yeah, Psycho Billy might come out and do some.
Yes, he might.
Some shit.
He should. He should. So no, so the way I was bad was cameras, cell phone, and radios and stuff.
Okay.
So a little story, we used to go to, we have a phone shanty about a quarter mile from the house.
Okay.
And my friend had a CD player. He had earbuds with a CD player, and he found the exact distance. So he would record it on the phone voicemail, right? So he'd call in, leave a message on the voicemail. He would have his earbuds, hold it the exact distance away from the earpiece of the or the talk piece of the phone, the wall phone or whatever.
That's some Amish shit.
Yeah, the one you hold like this, right?
Yeah.
But then the microphone, he holds his earbuds right by the microphone, the exact distance, records that shit as a voice message and saves it. Then we all have the code, and we call into voicemail, put the code in, and all our buddies could listen to the songs he put on there.
Yo, that's ingenuity, man.
Yeah, dude.
That's crazy.
Yes, that was good times. And we had a speakerphone, dude.
Desperado.
We were rocking with our speakerphone down in the phone shanty, dude.
Dude, hell yeah.
Some tinny crap, but it sounded amazing, dude.
At least you got the music.
Yeah. And
awesome.
Yeah, so, we did that. And then I remember one time me and my friend, we had CD players, and then they drove all the way from Strasburg to my house, the board. So our youth group had adults that tried to keep it reined in a little bit to keep it from going too crazy.
Yeah.
And so me and my friend were always the rebels, always breaking the rules and stuff. And we were living the Wiley Hunt lifestyle back then, bro.
Still getting it now.
Yeah. And then so they found out that we had CD players. So they got a driver that day for that night, got a van, and a couple of the guys drove all the way from Strasburg to York County, which is like 30 miles, probably like 45 minutes, and brought my buddy, his dad, and a couple of the other parents, brought it to my house in York County, not telling me. I didn't know they're coming. We're just working on the farm. They come out. When they break the news to my dad, he's freaking out like, dude, what the heck? And then they made us go out into the barn and break this CD player and break the CDs. They made us, me and my buddy, do that.
Yeah.
And then we got kicked for 3 weeks. So their punishment was, I think it was 3 weeks we couldn't hang out. We had to stay at home in like pretty much, it felt like prison.
Just work.
Yeah, because that was the only fun I had at that time was going away, hanging out with my friends.
So that's they pretty much took Roomspringer away or whatever.
For just 3 weekends.
Crazy, man. Yeah, I had to do that whole breaking CDs thing. I had a Trace Atkins CD.
Oh, Trace.
Yeah, man. And a Brad Paisley, and they're like, we cannot have country music in our house, Kyle. We would like you to break these so it would help you think about next time you go to buy something like this. Like, yeah, you're just making me want to go back and get it.
Exactly, dude. Dude, that did not work because we got kicked maybe one weekend. I think we got kicked for 3 weekends. Then the next weekend we're hanging out again, me and my buddy, and I think it was in the singing. We're just acting rowdy and crazy. We got kicked again for a couple weeks right after that. Like it didn't work, dude. We just kept
they couldn't control. They don't know what to do when people start acting up.
Yeah, they couldn't control us.
I almost think like when they have something like that, it's like that's just you waking up, because that was literally you waking up and saying, "I don't want to be like this." You know what I mean?
Probably, yeah.
And they don't know what to do with that.
Yeah. That's why my dad and I always clashed, because he never did, like, he was pretty much the model perfect person, which, dude, I could never do. He never drank, never did drugs, never had sex before marriage, nothing, dude, just perfect life.
Yeah.
As far as, like, things that are important to the Amish.
Right.
And, dude.
Biblical.
Yeah, and I couldn't do that. I was the opposite, dude. I want to experiment with everything, and he just couldn't stand that, because I think he maybe wanted to be that, but was too scared or something, and then it kind of rubbed him the wrong way a little bit.
Well, you never know. You're leading the charge right now. He might wake up and say, maybe I should have.
Maybe, dude. He had one beer about 4 or 5 years ago, but he didn't like it. No.
That's crazy. Yeah, so like, do you want to get into a little more when you left? Like, because you left when you were 17. I met you about maybe a year or two later.
Probably a year later, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, dude, when we left, so did the Rumspringa for a year, had a blast, and get this, did not tell any of my friends, and this is how the Amish do it. Don't tell anybody. All of a sudden, I just quit coming.
Yeah.
We're like tight friends. Like, I was probably going to start dating somebody in half a year or something, because like we're pretty
That's
close.
how you do it.
And you just drop out. I just drop out, dude.
Yep.
Don't tell anybody. Quit going. Leave the Amish. Move out. We had to sell. We sold our farm. We sold all our equipment. and moved out to Racetown Lake area, Huntington.
Okay.
About 2 hours away, just when we left.
Right. And you almost probably have to do that. Like,
kind of.
Because they're not going to accept you again.
Yeah, I mean, if my parents, so everybody thought that I'm being misled by my parents, so that people wanted me, they offered me to live with them so I could still stay Amish. You know what I'm saying?
That's crazy.
Like, nah,
man.
dude,
that is crazy.
I love my friends. I would love to hang out with them, but I wanted to be English more.
Yeah.
It was, I don't know, dude. I swear it's something in me. I'm not meant to be Amish. I was meant to be born Amish, meant to leave and meant to hopefully inspire or whatever it is.
Well, that's what I see it being more than anything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it could be a whole bunch of things, but your journey is going to teach a lot of these other people that have the same type of dreams, same type of, goals that they don't realize to say, hey, I'm just going to leave. Fuck them.
That'd be cool, yeah. That's what I hope. I hope that
it will, dude.
That
it will.
That this can help other people, because it's tough, dude. Like, when you leave and, like you said, reconstructing your life, dude, tough, man.
Yeah, because when you moved out there, like, did you go to another church then, or how was that?
Yeah, so we moved out, dude, and imagine I have my friends. I was always scared to talk to people, but I stepped out and just really became myself and didn't give a crap in the Amish Rumspringa. Then when you leave that, pretty much killed, dude. Oh my goodness, I pretty much was the shyest kid, wasn't going to talk to anybody. So we went to another church. We talked to people, but I just never, I had this wall. I would talk to people, but I had this wall up where I would never connect. I would just kind of be like cordial friends or whatever.
Yeah, but
we'd
never
hang
take
out,
it deep.
And say specifically for girls, dude, I would never, Mennonite girls, scared out of my wits, could never talk to them, dude.
Yeah, I
never.
feel you.
I was scared. So that was kind of my experience of, you leave at 17, we move away, and basically like moving to a foreign country where you don't know the culture. Even though we went to a Mennonite church, it was a little more liberal. Like, they didn't have TVs, but otherwise it's pretty much just a normal. Yeah. Like, the women wore dresses and coverings and stuff, but
okay,
it was, the guys were just kind of dressed normal. And, normal jobs. We had cell phones, cars, and everything. So it was still kind of like moving from China to America. You don't know anybody. You don't know the customs. You don't know their way of thinking, their way of what jokes are acceptable.
Yeah, you're just trying to integrate.
Yeah, we really have no freaking idea. So needless to say, I was scared out of my mind. And I wanted to fit in, but I had no idea how.
Right, yeah. I kind of remember that. I had a question. It slipped. It went away. God. Oh, here it is. So, like, out there being Mennonite, like, how was that different for you than the Amish? Like when you could go and get your license now, you could drive. Like, did it feel freer, or was it kind of the same?
Definitely freer. I mean, because I could drive and could get a phone, have a computer, all that stuff. What I wanted. Right. At the time, it felt, yeah, man, this is where it's at. You can still, because you still hold on a little bit without realizing that Amish thing. Oh, we still got to be Mennonite. Oh, we still got to be Little Plain something. It's still that in the back of your mind. That God won't accept you unless you do a little bit of works, or a little bit of, like, you got to be a little different or something. Yeah. So that was in the back of my mind, but no, it was definitely way more free. I went to see my first concert ever at 18 years old, Michael W. Smith. Oh, hell yeah. And just all kinds of experiences that I was able to have. So yeah, definitely much more freer.
Right. That's cool. Is that what kind of, like, you've always talked about music and stuff, is that kind of what inspired you, like your first concert?
Oh my goodness. Dude. So for some reason, I think it probably was because of leaving the way I did and not telling anybody and just kind of like stuffing it in. But for some reason, I was always felt, or maybe it's the way I was raised, like being told I'm not worth anything. It's probably that. But I just wanted, in my mind, in here, I wanted a guitar. But I was like, nah, you don't deserve a guitar. You could never play a guitar. You're not good enough, right? And then So for some reason, I always wanted one because music hit me so hard. Imagine people out there, imagine being 16, never having felt the emotions of recorded modern music ever until 16. It's insane. It's insane because you never felt it, and feeling it for the first time, I didn't realize it, but music freaking rocked my world. I was in love, dude. I was freaking hooked. I don't know why. I was just like, these melodies, these hooks, these things, dude.
Yeah.
I was hooked deeper than a hook could go, bro.
It's raw energy, like, man.
Bam!
Yeah.
So I just never really thought about, I always loved singing, right?
Right.
And in school and church, we would always sing. And one time my brother and I, for a Christmas program, we sang. Shout out to Andrew. We sang, just me and him, a cappella, and I loved it.
Yeah.
But some of the girls in my grade looked at me and laughed and made fun of me. So then I thought, like, oh, singing, I can't sing now because the girls don't approve.
Fucking haters.
So, but listening in when I was like 16, when I started listening to the radio, I like to sing along because I like to sing, but I thought I could never sing like the radio because I can only sing like Amish, not like modern radio or whatever.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, the guitar, my brother got a guitar when I was, about a year after we left, and I was jealous, so jealous. I wanted one, but I never thought that, why would I get one? Like, I don't deserve it, right? Like I said before. But, so then that concert, dude, when we went to Michael W. Smith, that was the first CD. Him and Amy Grant was the first CDs we bought.
Okay.
So we used to bump that up in our bedroom.
Yeah.
Up in Huntington.
Get it.
And it was a new Hallelujah album. And we wanted to be Christians, so we listened to Christian music.
Right.
And that was acceptable. And it rocked. It's pretty cool. But when I went to see his concert, dude, again, the same thing. It was my first ever live concert. The emotions, the feeling I experienced was like nothing I'd ever felt. I'm like, dude, what is going on, dude?
Yeah.
Couldn't even take it all in.
Right.
Like the kick drum was sounding huge, and the guitars and everything was just like, it was like heaven, dude. Like, where am I at right now? And I didn't realize it, but that pretty much was like, dude, I need to do this. I freaking need to do this. And again, because of the way I was raised and stuff, I just didn't think to even think about going for it and really believing I could.
Yeah.
But it just didn't leave. It just stayed. Like, so I eventually gave in, like, hey, I'm going to do it. Dude,
hell yeah. Like, I think we talked about some of that, like, when we started doing it, between me and you. Yeah. But get into that, like, when we started, like, jamming around, not knowing anything, like, did you ever think we'd get here? Like, we're nowhere, but yet we kind of are. You know what I mean?
Dude, you have no idea. So I'll talk about a little bit of that. So for some reason, so I had gotten this guitar, and I was jamming around with it. Completely sucked. Didn't know what I'm doing.
Right.
Got talked to a couple people that I had friends, ex-Amish friends at Harvest View. I think actually Joe Fisher.
Oh yeah.
And he talked about, it was through Will Stoltz. Never mind. All right.
Yeah, I know Will Stoltz.
Will Stoltz.
Come on the podcast.
We should have him on here. All right.
We should have him on here.
Dude,
cool.
Yeah. So it was at his concert. That's what it was. It was I forgot. It was at his concert. Some reason, I used to go to Breakthrough concerts, and Will was out there, and I fell in love. Like, dude, this guy's legit. Like, man, I love this guy.
And he's ex-Amish.
Yeah, and he's got that country sound, like that classic Josh Turner kind of voice or whatever.
Right.
Dude. And so I was hooked. And then he had a big concert, and he said that, talk to Dave Kurtz if you want to learn how to play guitar.
Okay.
Shout out Dave Kurtz.
Yeah, we should have him on the podcast.
We should have Dave.
That would be awesome.
Dave, let us know. We'll have you, brother.
Yes, we would love to have you, brother.
But so then a half a year later, I reached out to Dave. I'm like, dude, this thing, it's here. It just didn't leave. It did not let me leave.
Right.
Did not. I was right 19. I was trying to figure out, and I was started with this thing called Life.
Yeah.
It was right around all that.
Shout out Life.
Yes. Changed my life.
Yeah. Yeah. We love you.
In many ways, in good or bad.
Yes.
But so it was all just me trying to figure out what's my purpose, why am I here? What am I doing this for? I was trying to figure out, should I do this music? Because I had tried a lot of things, and younger, you try everything and you quit it. Like, you try something and you don't go for it. And I'm like, if I want to do this music thing, I'm actually going to do it and be serious about it.
Yeah.
But I really want to find out, is this for me?
Mm-hmm.
So I spent some time to soul searching and trying to see, and it just kept coming. Like, some reason it wouldn't let me go, that I need to keep doing this.
Right.
So I took lessons with Dave, started trying to learn guitar, and that was fun. And maybe a year later, we had that what was that, the recital thing? Remember that, where we played Blake Shelton
I
with
remember
Justin
that.
and me and you?
Yeah.
Dude, totally
live.
sucked, bro.
It was
First time ever live in front of people.
Yeah, but talk about how it felt. Like, how,
Dude.
like, underneath all the nerves and all
Yeah.
that. Like, you were actually doing it.
Mixed emotions, because I knew we didn't do how we wanted to, but dude, it was like, yes, I need to do this again.
Yeah.
So it just, some reason, dude, it's just like, you guys have no idea how hard it was. Terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible.
It was horrible.
Terrible. 4 years later, we did a concert. We did decent. Even that was terrible.
Yeah, but
that's how bad.
Yeah, but something I want to bring out is the type of drive that we put into this, the type of work we put into this, because we came from knowing nothing, and we had so many people saying, "No, you guys suck," and we did.
Oh, exactly.
But guess what? We came here now. Ben's recording in Nashville.
Dang.
And it's like,
Kenny
that's something to say. And you don't just get to record in Nashville just because, you're not just some dude off the street recording in Nashville. Like, he put in the work to get here. We both put in the work to get where we are. And it's like, there's something to say about that. I'm not tooting our own horns, but there's something to say.
Yeah. Dude, I agree. It's that the reason I'm saying that is how bad we suck is because we literally, I couldn't keep time because I'd never listened to recorded music in my life till 16.
Yeah. Or performed or anything.
Or performed or anything. I could not keep time for the life of me, dude. It was horrible. That's why I'm saying to me, it's that exciting to see that I was able to actually, and I don't know, again, it's something. It's just this thing in here that does not let me go.
Yeah, man.
And, dude, I just, for some reason, got to keep going.
Yeah. I think about that stuff back with Dave Kurtz and all that stuff a lot, because that, as much as it did suck, like you talked about it shaped us. Yeah. It shaped us hard, because we took all those, we look back at those videos, we look back and in our own minds and said, oh my gosh, but we dropped all that pride and said, we're going to keep doing it. We're going to keep plugging. We're going to keep learning. Yeah. And, we did it. I think there, when we had with Whitney in the band and all that, after we took that break, is when it really came together, especially for you, because I kind of always had something
you had,
but yet
way more.
It was that break that we took in there. It really brought it together for you, and it gave me the time to work on the stuff that I had to work on.
So
you know what I mean?
We had, how was that? We played that concert for the wedding, right? Just to reminisce, and then we took a break where I focused on getting a little better at playing.
Yeah, and that's when I didn't have a drum set at all, but I would go at home and just practice on pads and all that type of stuff. Just trying to get rhythm, trying to learn music, really.
Right.
Do you want to get into that, like what you were doing in that break to practice and whatever?
I think I was practicing singing.
Okay.
So I had Will Stoltz again.
Right.
His vocal coach, I liked his singing, so I figured out, or asked him for his vocal coach, and it's a guy named Dave Brooks in Nashville. Okay. So shout out Dave.
Should interview him.
Yeah, I should maybe do. Yeah, there you go, dude. Yeah, you're right. And then we definitely good point. You just like no wheels turning.
Yeah, man.
But I think I was going to Nashville working with Dave, and we're learning how to, so I could sing, but like I said, when trying to sing radio songs, I just had no idea, dude. I just, it was tight, it was unnatural, it was weird.
Right.
And so I went with Dave, and Dave had worked with Kanan Smith, Brett Eldridge, a few people like that, like helping them out a little bit.
Right.
And he did demo stuff, so he was a demo singer. He was a really good singer.
Right.
So he understood how to, for me, my range is mid to maybe in the mid range or something is where I'm good at.
Yeah.
And when I went higher on notes, I started squeaking. So he helped me to understand how to go high and control the notes without, make it sound like the radio, how they're doing on the radio.
Okay.
And so he really helped me a lot on that. And then we kind of hit the limit with that. Then we started writing.
Okay.
And so he taught me a lot about writing. So we have the one song, actually, it's not out, but it's called You and Me. Mm-hmm. What I did is I came to him with the song, and he listened to it like, hey, what about this melody? And I think for that one specifically, he did a melody. Then I rewrote the song completely.
Okay.
And so I would write it, and then I would take it to him. He would critique it. I would make adjustments. He would critique it. I think You and Me had like 12 versions.
Okay.
And the 12th version, like he had some input as well, but it was mostly me writing.
Yeah. And
then him critiquing. So I learned a ton about writing as far as Nashville way of writing.
Yeah.
Because he knows songs and he knows that. So that's kind of what I was doing, working on that type of stuff and I just was basically serious about learning what it takes to be able to sing on a record, live or whatever.
Yeah, just really trying to get knowledge.
Yeah, try to learn.
Well, there's something to be said about that, because a lot of people, there's some people out there, I should say, I hate saying a lot of people, there's some people out there that aren't willing to put themselves out there and say, hey, look, I need help. Right. There's something to be said about that,
Sure, yeah.
I think looking back on all that, and we'll probably get into more, but looking back on all that, like could you see like, steps, you can.
Me looking back now?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Or even back then, like looking, you're working with Dave Brooks, could you see those steps that you've taken to get there?
To work with Dave or beyond before?
Well, even, to get to work with Dave.
To get to work. Yeah, dude, it's, I guess maybe reframe your question a little bit.
Okay,
I think I know what you're saying.
Yeah, like you pretty much came from Amish, came from not knowing anything to now you're working with Dave Brooks. Like, was it clear to you that you've actually come from pretty far?
It was, but it's hard to see in the moment, especially then. Okay. Now I'm actually a little more open. In that time period, I was very short-sighted and very just like right now, like get it done. Get it done.
See, there's a point in there I wanted to make, because like you probably didn't realize it, and that's how focused you were, and that's important, because something that Why the Hell Not is pretty passionate about, and this is me just kind of speaking out of my ass, but I think this is what you want to push. Is dedication.
Yes,
and it's like if you know you want something, even if it's not clear to you, like how big of a thing that is, or how important it is at what you're doing, you just doggedly plugging through that, just getting it done. That's important.
That's a good point. Never thought about
because
that. You're
not going to see it in the moment. You're not going to see, damn, I've come so far. You're not going to see all that. But now you can probably see that, and that's you wouldn't have saw that had you stopped and looked at all that back then.
Dude, that is very interesting. That's true, because I was, and there's good and bad, but to me, I think, maybe it was, the thing was I was persistent and willing to do what it takes.
Yes.
But dude, I was impressed that I was able to work with Dave, and he had this track record with other people, but the main thing I was worried about is just being able to figure this out.
Yeah.
Figure this thing out, dude.
Yeah.
Because I've just felt like my eyes were open to what I needed to learn.
Right.
And I just wanted to figure it out. So
come a long way.
Yeah.
Long way.
Yeah, I thank you.
So just to get into a little current stuff, like did I skip over anything? I'm pretty bad at remember stuff.
We covered a good bit, yeah.
But just to get into more current stuff, the 15th is when your music video is coming out for Why the Hell Not. We just spent a little time in Nashville, July, what was it, 27th?
Something.
We did some
like
filming
that.
down there. This dude took me down there. We did some filming, so that was my first time in Nashville. Shout out to him.
Oy.
And so yeah, that's coming out, and talk about that.
Beautiful, dude. So Just talk about the video itself.
Yeah, talk about like what's coming out, like you know,
Gotcha.
a little bit
Yeah.
of experience about filming, like how it made you
got
feel.
it.
you
Yeah.
know?
So, dude, it was wild because this video, is about, the song is kind of like me. I got small town roots, raised in a tight knit group, but the whole world is begging me to play.
Yeah.
So I took that leap of faith. It showed me a better place. Now here I am singing this to you. So we wanted to capture a little bit of my story in terms of, and a lot of people relate to this because a lot of people have that similar type, even if it's not Amish, they have this, their parents are kind of put them in a box, whatever it is. A lot of people relate.
Right.
So we want to write this around that of capture me and then say, hey, look at this. If you're working hard through the years we talked about, now here I am singing here now this song to you. So then it just goes kind of into some encouragement, like when everything you want's not a damn thing you got,
Yeah.
you know, go for it, you know.
Yeah.
So that was the whole idea of the song. We wanted to do a video to capture that.
Yeah, that's awesome. I think it does a very good job at that because just to take all what we were talking about, that's what the song is about.
Right.
You know, it's about all those experiences, not talking specifically about that, but that those experiences brought you to here. Now, look what you can do with your experiences to bring you to here. You know.
Yeah, exactly.
I think it's a great song. It
Awesome.
can be, it should be a hit. It should be a hit song.
If
like I
the
really
right
mean
people
that.
hear it, it will be.
Because the type of story, and that's why I want to talk about some of the stuff on here, because this could drive it. And also the type of stories that we bring to this is going to bring other people's stories, and it's going to bring other people to say, why the hell not?
Right.
You know?
Right.
It's
the whole idea, you know, it might be a little controversial in the Amish community, but I wanted it to be a little bit.
Exactly.
Why the hell not? It has the word hell, dude.
Yeah.
It's the idea. There's multiple things, but the why the hell not is work hard, it's play hard. And interviewing John Willis, he said, I asked him on his billboard if what he would say on the billboard, what the meaning of life is. He said, work hard and play hard. If you're working too hard, it's not good. If you're playing too hard, it's not good.
Yeah.
So why the hell not is exactly that. It's our vision for concerts, for live music is you come out, have a good time, party it up, you know, let loose and just forget about whatever's going on and just freaking, you know, just have a good time.
Right.
So that's one aspect.
Yeah.
Then also we encourage people like go pursue a business, whatever it is in your life that you want to do, pursue it. Why the hell not try it? You never know.
Yeah.
Like rather than being boxed in, like I had this 8 mile boxed in. Why? I don't like that. Why should anybody have to stick to this even in their own life, like working to a boss that they don't want to?
Yeah.
You know, start something evenings and try to figure out something that you're passionate about.
Yeah, I mean,
music, whatever it is, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I mean, it's America. It's land of the free, home of the we do what the fuck we want. You know?
There's a lot of opportunity out here. So. So that's kind of the idea. It's why the hell not? So if you can look past the hell, it's pretty powerful, and I think it needs to be a little controversial.
Well, even
as well,
dude.
You know?
Like, there's something I'm going to say about this. When you bring controversy into such a tight knit circle like that, dude, that's the only way you're going to break through to them.
Yeah.
Because and that may be kind of unfortunate.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it takes a big sledgehammer to get through a thick ass stone.
Yeah.
And this is a big
Right.
sledgehammer.
It is a big sledgehammer.
You know, it's
You're
shaking
right.
shit up.
You're right.
You're not going to go in there and say,
Yeah.
why don't you do it?
Yeah.
Why the hell not? You
Right.
know? Why the fuck not?
Right.
You know, whatever.
Yeah. Dude, another thing I want to say, and it was funny, you had experienced the same thing with the music video shoot. Dude, when I put that hat on, put me back into being I walked. If you look, watch the video.
You walked
when
Amish,
I walked
dog.
to that truck, I'm walking
walked
Amish.
Amish,
Dog.
man.
I'm
That shit was crazy.
freaking Amish.
Yeah.
I freaking transported back, dude.
Yeah.
And it was so powerful, that video. Shooting that video was so powerful because I was in a daze. Like, it was crazy. I don't think I ate all day or something. Like, I didn't even, dude, I was in a
I didn't either.
fuck, dude. But, so, we do these scenes and everything, and then at the end of the night, you know, it's me rocking out, and the transformation is insane. And we act the part insane. And Jamie did an awesome job on acting. Dude, she was the perfect Amish girl. Like, she really, really did a great job. I was very impressed. Shout out Jamie. Thank you for that.
Yes.
But so all that thing is crazy experience. The people were loving the song. They were. I still talk to some of the people from the crowd there that night. Yeah. And
my girlfriend talks about how people were just going nuts about it.
Yeah, like, people loved it, dude.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. And so I just couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
Like, wow, dude, we're doing a professional video shoot. We had all this gear, this crate. Like, oh my God. It was like, for this Amish boy, it's like blowing my mind.
Yeah,
bro.
man.
Like, I've dreamed for years about this.
Right.
Now here it is. But dude, on the way home, I got sick.
Yeah.
I was sick for the next couple of days just because it was sensory overload, dude.
Yeah.
Something.
I was too. I actually took off the next day because I was fucked up. My throat was so fucked up I can barely talk. It was fucking crazy.
Crazy, dude. Something is going on.
Yeah,
bro.
something is happening. I can't explain it, but we're a long way from them motherfucking barns and Amish fields. So.
Right. Got an Amish field out here. Nah, it's Mennonite field.
We ain't Amish.
Yeah. So that was wild, dude. Yeah.
That's crazy. I'm excited as hell.
Yeah.
I'm excited for this shit too.
For this podcast?
Yeah.
Dude? Oh yeah.
Because what I don't think we realize is the type of depth that we go to. Like we just went deep, bro.
I'm not afraid to go
deep, and I ain't either, because it's that's what it's about, and I want to bring awareness to some of this shit that goes on in Lancaster County and that goes on in these religious circles that are completely locked up, and just bring it out. Truth will set you free, boy.
Yes. We got a lot more stories, so make sure to keep coming back. Cause this is just the beginning, dude.
Yes, sir.
We got some interesting foods we'll talk about. We got some stories.
Stories, man. Talk about Bloomsock. You ever play Bloomsock?
Yes. In church, boy.
Yes, sir.
That was fun. You ever play cornerball?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, boy.
Dude, we played mad shit. But anyhow, anything else you want to go over?
Dude. I like to talk about the concert. Just briefly.
Oh yeah.
So the concert with Tucker, Chris, you, and me.
Oh, we didn't even touch on Ramblin'.
And Ramblin', I think we should touch on that a little bit.
I'm down.
So I was running sound for, and this is interesting. I tried churches. I tried different churches. I never really felt at home anywhere.
Yeah.
And the first place I ever felt at home was running sound with musicians. Like, how is that? What is this, dude?
Yeah,
I actually felt accepted. And actually, I can just be myself.
Yeah.
For the first time since leaving the Amish, around non-Amish people or non-ex-Amish, because most of the people I hung out with was ex-Amish.
Yeah.
And whenever I was around people that are non-ex-Amish, never really felt comfortable or able to just be myself.
Yeah.
Around these musicians was the first time. So shout out to Flashback, Donna and Mark. I know you guys still watch us, Donna and Dan. And then, what was that other band? Shannon, Chris's mom's band. Down to Earth. There was one before that. It'll come to me. But it was weird. It was the first. I love running sound, and I had learned how to run sound, and I thought it was kind of strategic. This was also during the time that I was taking voice lessons because I knew I wanted to do this band thing.
Yeah.
So I thought running sound, because I knew how to run sound.
Okay.
I thought running sound would be a way to make some money and be around bands, surround myself with bands every weekend to learn, to these 4-hour gigs.
Yeah.
So I did that. Yeah, and I learned so many songs because when you grow up Amish, 16, you learn songs from right when you're listening that point, and I didn't really know a lot of other songs, so I learned a ton of songs from 70s, 60s, like disco and some rock and stuff, and so I love that for that. And so surround myself, and they really appreciated what I was doing, and I was like, dude, this is crazy. So then that band broke up. Then the next one, their friend Bob, their band needed a sound guy, so I went, and it's Rumor Has It. Was it Rumor Has It?
Yeah.
Russell, Bob, all those guys, Danny and Tucker.
Yeah.
So Danny Mulkinson, you know who I mean.
Yes, sir.
Shout out, guys.
Back in Black.
Yes. So I met all those guys, and same thing, dude. I just felt like it was a blast. Like I loved, and these guys had more rock, southern rock and stuff, and I loved Danny and Tucker playing with Russell, and just their playing together was like, dude, I fell in love with southern rock and all that. But I just learned or saw bands playing, and it was very good to see it, to experience that.
Right.
For me, just to learn even how to play. But so then about a couple of years went by. Then I wanted to do a concert, my first kind of big concert. I thought I was ready.
Right.
And so we did that. But anyway, reached out to Chris and Tucker. Tucker was bass player for Rumor Has It. Chris was Sharon, the singer for Rumor Has It's son. And you and I think that's kind of what got us back to jamming, honestly, after the break.
I knew we had done some open mics before that because we were going to York.
Yeah, because I was wanting to get used to playing so I could practice because I wanted to do this.
Yeah, we were doing the Depot. We were doing the Sandwich Factory.
Depot, bro.
I remember the first time we did that, a couple people came out. It was actually fun.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It was.
But yeah.
I always will have good memories from the Depot because that's the first time in my life I had experienced people singing along and loving the crap out of what we're doing. Mm-hmm. Dude, that was like, wow, this is crazy. Mm-hmm. This is nuts. And it was probably just me and you on guitar and you on drums.
Yeah, we had a random bassist.
Yeah. But we had this big concert. 500 people show up, 600 people.
It was like 700 till the end.
700 people. Dude,
Amish.
and I was freaked out and I couldn't play, and we played, we wrestled through it.
Yeah.
The first set we did, I think, kind of clicked, but then the second set I was all over the place. And, and it was just strange, but we did it. We tried it. But, so yeah, we did that. We powered through it. Some people liked it, some people didn't. If you came out to that, thanks. We appreciate it. We realized that we had a long way to go, but it's something we had to do, and it really kind of was the start of something amazing.
Right.
So,
and we hope you had fun because we had fun.
Yeah, we had a blast. Then Tucker, Chris, and you and myself wanted to. I wasn't really looking to do a cover band, but they wanted to. I'm like, dude, I could learn so many things. I'm like, let's do it. Let's do it. So we did it. We practiced for about a year. Then the next year, around October, about a year later, we played our first gig, Halloween gig at Red Line.
Yes, sir.
And we practiced hard, dude. We had like 3 hours of stuff, and we did it. It was what it was.
First gig was shaky, but we got through it way better than the first. I should say the first gig is Ramblin' was shaky, but it was better than the first gig we did before.
Way
so we felt a lot better.
Way better.
Still had a lot of work to do, but it went. It went.
Yeah,
shout out to the, what was that in Red Line? I can't remember.
Red Line Legion.
Yeah,
Tom,
shout out.
Thanks, Tom, for giving us a chance.
Yeah, first show of Ramblin', and it was awesome.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, so
remember the Devil? The Devil came to our first show.
Who was that? Was that Halloween?
The dude in the Devil mask.
Yeah, dude.
That shit was dope.
Wow. No, dude, that was crazy. For some reason, they loved us. I don't know why. They wanted us back. So, dude, that was all we needed. We're like, we're going to do this.
Some people love Ramblin'.
Yeah. So we, at first I was the center singer, and turns out I still wasn't quite ready. I just needed a little more experience. So we put Tucker as the main guy, and I would sing a couple songs. And that's really what it needed. That year of playing out is really what I needed to be able to learn.
Same.
Towards the end, dude, I think for you and me both, towards the end, dude, I was comfortable, and it was connecting. People were like, you could see people were digging for me, I would judge when I'm singing, and people are like, you could feel it. So
yeah, and I think it's also something I want to just throw in quick. We were playing with two dudes that knew music that had been playing out, had been playing with bands before. So it's a completely different feel when you put them with two different people that have never done that. I think that's why we put in work to get where we even to our first show. And,
And again, Tucker and Chris guys, you rock. Thanks for
man,
wanting to work with us, because
it was awesome.
We appreciate that, and we definitely, had a little patch there, but dude, we're back and ready to freaking get it again.
Yes, sir. Ready to do it. And I think that to like with the whole rambling thing, like shout out to everyone that came out to see us, by the way. You guys are freaking awesome. But anyhow, the whole thing with rambling is I look at everything that happened from day one. Let's say day one that I broke out of this Mennonite circle, whatever. I look at everything as a stepping stone to get where I'm supposed to be going. And rambling was one of those. Could it have been something else? Yes, but it was a stepping stone. I knew going into that's what it was. As shitty or as not shitty that may be, it was a stepping stone, and we're here now. What we're doing now is a stepping stone to get to the next place. Everything is a stepping stone. So we need to, I think it's important, and we have done that and looked at it as that and said, hey, there's things we learned, and we're grateful for those. Yeah,
absolutely. Super grateful for rambling, and always will be. It was the first time I ever experienced live with a band, a group of guys playing live, where people really had a memorable experience. The audience, the people that came out had memorable experiences and would go back and be like, dude, I had a great time today. Yeah. So that means a lot to me with these group of guys. So it's just, because of that, it will always be very special in my heart because of that.
I think also, like, coming from where we come from, we were taught that if someone likes what you do, oh, you're being prideful. Right. And you shouldn't feel good about that. You're just like, no. But it's okay. And I think that's what, it's just confirmation for me, because it was like, someone actually, damn, that's crazy.
I can't believe it, right?
I can't either. It's insane. Because especially coming from where we come from. So thank y'all again.
Yeah, absolutely, guys. Yep.
So,
cool,
anything else?
I think I'm good, dude.
All right. Good, well, do you want to plug your Why the Hell Not stuff?
So this Friday, November 15th, is when Why the Hell Not comes out. We got 6-string guitar with Kyle.
Yes,
wrote that song. We got Good Life on. 3 songs coming out November 15th. The video drops November 15th. If you want to watch the video before, subscribe, and we'll put the link on here, but subscribe to the email list. The merch company, WTHN Apparel, right here, or the song on iTunes if you pre-order it or buy it. This will be given away to one person, guys. So make sure to
MacBook Pro.
Buy the single on iTunes. Send me a DM proving you bought it, or pre-order merch on WTHN Apparel. I'll see that come through. You'll be entered to win. Stay tuned. Tell your friends. Sponsored by MacBook Pro.
Go get that thing.
Sponsored by WTHN Apparel.
Yes, sir.
So there you go.
Hey, shout out to y'all. Hopefully y'all like this. We love doing it, and we love getting deep.
Yes.
Anything else we need to talk about?
So you should plug your Instagram as well.
Instagram, okay. If you wanna follow me, you don't have to, but if you want to, Kyle Hoover, EST93 or 1993, and I'll put that up on the screen, or it'll be in the link. And then you can also follow me at psycho_Billy26 if you want to hear some whatever
fire
rap music,
beats,
whatever. Yeah,
this guy,
me and my homie be making some music, so. If you want to hear any of it, follow there. And we'll be putting out an album here soon.
Yeah,
so
this guy's a dope rapper, dude. He's a very good rapper.
I appreciate it.
Very good rapper. So, follow him on that. We'll put it on the links and stuff down below.
Yes, sir.
Follow me if you want. Benjamin Beiler Music. Benjamin Beiler, wherever. It should all pop up. So, and all that. So, that's good for me, bro.
All righty. Well, peace out, y'all. Why the Hell Not Podcast out.
Peace.